So worldwide, globally, we look at nearly 1 in 8 girls. So that's about 370 million girls experience sexual violence before the age of 18, including non-contact abuse, like exposure or unwanted advances. The rate rises in 1 in 5. So it will rise in 1 in 5. So now it's roughly 1 in 8, but it will rise in 1 in 5.
Oh
Again,
wow.
if we don't keep doing what we're doing right now, exposing it and raising awareness for it. Um, and then you also have in Africa, for example, which Haiti's very close to Africa as far as culture and stuff like that. Even though we're in
Yeah.
Central America, we very close to. We have a lot of African uh, characteristics. Regionally, Africa has higher prevalence rate. So we're talking about 20% for girls and 19.3% for boys, with Europe, where in Europe, showing lower rates, 13.5% in girls and 5.6% in boys. Look at the gap there. And
Mm-hmm.
Africa, not that it's good anyway, but like in Africa, you look at 20% for girls, 19.3% for boys, basically the same thing.
Yeah.
And then in Europe, you look at 13% for girls versus 20%, and then 5.6% for boys versus 19% for boys. So again, you see in
How it's related.
countries, yeah, in countries where education, where poverty is such a huge aspect. The last thing I talked about this again in my last
Mm-hmm.
podcast with you. The last thing parents, they're out looking for food to feed us.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, those predators are just like taking advantage of their absence or their lack of interest in our lives on a daily basis. Not because they don't want to, but they see bigger obstacles and they're trying to conquer bigger problems, such as feeding us, keeping us safe on the
Yeah.
streets.
Basic needs.
Meanwhile, those kind of things are happening. So it's saddening, just the contrast from
Yeah.
Africa and Europe. And I'm
That's
gonna
a
let
big
you.
contrast. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, but like in the U.S. now, some stats in the U.S. according to Rain.org, Wikipedia, approximately 1 in 9 girls and 1 in 53 boys under the age of 18 experience sexual abuse. Um,
I
still,
think that
still,
number is higher though,
I think
because
so
there's
too.
so
Those are
many.
just
Yeah, the
the
reported
underreported
ones.
ones. Oh my gosh, yeah. So that's the thing. So that's why I always say it's way more prevalent than
Mm-hmm.
whatever the internet is saying. That's why
Yeah.
when I read these numbers and I'm just kind of I'm reading them just to give you an idea. But like really and truly, what about my neighbors who never talked about anything like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Those boys that I was raised with in Haiti, like all of them, not all of them,
All
they
of
never
them.
talked about that. Yeah, they all went through it. You know,
Yeah.
so
Same as my family. Every single girl in my family went through it, never reported it. So that's, yeah, I feel like the numbers are way higher. So to find a, I feel like to start to find a place where survivors I look up different when they come out and society don't put blame on them or shame. That's how it can make a shift for um, the reporting cases to go up
mhm.
higher to eventually we won't have any, I don't know, in a hopefully like society sometime where there's not going to be any reporting whatsoever and there's not going to be any CSA whatsoever. But that's how
Yeah,
the shift starts with just talking about it, the society just,
yeah,
changing the perspective on the whole topic.
yeah. And lastly, again, thanks for watching. If you do get value out of this video, please subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and most importantly for me, share it. Don't
Yeah.
just leave it to yourself because the whole point of awareness is for to let the masses know to just be louder and louder every day. Share it, subscribe, please do so.